Hello and welcome to the Poor Armor Podcast, episode 211. I'm your host, Brad. This is my co-host, Eric.
How's it going?
And on this week's episode, we have a really fun one.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit late for the timing, but whatever.
I mean, it's perfect timing for us. It's just unfortunate when you're all going to hear this is late. But we just got back from Adepticon literally today. But Eric has to get on a flight tomorrow morning. He worked very hard this week, so he deserves a 2-week vacation. So you guys heard Miwa and my wife last week cover for him, and this week you're listening to us from the past cover for him.
Hell yeah, past me. You did something good once.
Past Brad and future Brad, patrons know the lore. They're different people.
It's true.
They hate each other.
Mortal enemies. Nobody hates somebody more than those two.
Yeah, but we're going to cover what I think, honestly, I can say wholeheartedly was my favorite convention I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of conventions in my life.
Yeah, I think so.
But without any further ado, let's get into story time. This is going to be a nice, relaxed, fun, upbeat episode. We're just going to talk a ton of cool stuff we did.
Sounds good.
So, have you ever wondered, should I go to a convention for Warhammer or some other tabletop game? I don't want to play in a tournament. I don't want any of that sweaty stuff. Am I going to have any fun going to a convention? Well, at least in our case, the answer was yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, didn't play any actual word game stuff the entire time.
I did not roll a die at all this weekend other than to test some out before buying them.
That we did a decent amount of.
They rolled like shit, so I knew they were mine.
I mean, yeah, this was definitely a different convention than any of the other ones that we've done before.
Yeah, we might be a little bit extra fond of this one just because we got to meet a bunch of people who we've done stuff with or want to do stuff with, like content wise. So ours is a little bit more fun, but I think just going with friends that you enjoy is the key here. Get your friend group to go to a convention together and have fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I think there's also a decent amount of, once you go there and like make a friend group, a lot of times people will meet up again at the next one and be like, hey, we're gonna play all together. Next time we'll meet up.
And no matter how awkward you think you are and how awkward you actually are,
yeah,
the content creator that you want to say hello to is still going to be happy to see you every time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the fun listener stories later. So yeah, let's just go through the con and let's just do story time for how our week went.
All right.
So we drove over there like Tuesday and got there sometime in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're Detroit area, so it was, I don't know, 6-ish hours, and then I mean obviously we stopped a bit, so yeah, we got in afternoon, early evening, something like that.
And first night there we got in touch with Haywo and his group.
Yeah,
we ended up going to a really nice dinner.
We're invited to like a pretty nice place to get some dinner, and I definitely did not pack like dress clothes kind of thing. Like
no, it was perfect. So Haywo's group invited us to go to like this fancy high-end steak and rib joint, right?
Yeah.
And I looked at the website and I was like, Eric, you're wearing a graphic tee for like Jimi Hendrix or some shit.
It was a Jimi Hendrix shirt, and it's probably 20 plus years old that like I've had it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you wore it in high school.
And I wasn't the first one that owned that shirt. So it's noticeably old. It's still a very great shirt. I love that shirt. God damn, it's a comfy shirt. But like probably not the right thing to wear to this place.
Yeah, so I was like, throw on like a half decent t-shirt or something. Like just something plain and like inconspicuous to throw a coat on over and look fine. So he did that. I'm already dressed up in a polo because I'm the least fun human on earth.
Basically, yeah.
Ask my employees. And then we go there to the steakhouse and everyone is dressed better than us. And we're like, shit.
There were people in like actual like suits and shit, man.
So we're like, well, this is gonna be a little awkward, but it's fine. We're all right.
It's one of those like, we're definitely not fitting in, but we're like, you know, if I had kept the Hendrix shirt on, I would have felt a little weird, but like normal is fine. It's okay.
Yeah. So then Haywo and his posse roll up. Doom hoodies, fantastic baseball caps, everything you can think of, like they own the joint. And I'm like, never mind, we're in good company.
It was great. Like Like
It was. And it was a really fun dinner hanging out with everyone.
And like the place was also cool because like there are some of those like upscale fancy joints that like are pretentious and shit. They'll make it known that like you're not up to the dress code, but they were cool. They were chill. It was awesome. And yeah, it was cool hanging out with Halo and them that apparently they were just playing Magic all day.
Yeah. If you ever go to Adepticon, find some of the Wisconsinites and ask them for local joints to go to, because every place they gave us advice to go to was fantastic. We ended up going to this breakfast joint like the next day they recommended that was so good, and Eric missed it because he went and got actual breakfast downstairs first.
Yeah, I woke up at a normal time.
Yeah, you didn't realize we were traveling with my wife.
I did. I thought you would offset it. I forgot who wore the pants.
I cannot offset that. You know this relationship.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome meeting that group. And I mean, it was one of those, like, we weren't actually like doing anything Tuesday night. We had just drove, several hours, and there wasn't anything really going on. Adepticon starts Wednesday, sort of, essentially.
Yeah, like Wednesday evening. It doesn't even start like Wednesday day.
Yeah. So it was one of those of just like, we hung out, we got some dinner, we made some like, hey, we'll meet up at some point and like we'll try and play some Magic or something, whatever, but we'll see you guys again.
That was it for Tuesday. We walked around town. I gotta say, Milwaukee is a fantastic city. I know like all Midwestern cities, we all joke about how bad our city is. Milwaukee was really nice.
I mean, there was definitely places that like showed age kind of thing.
Yeah, but nothing ever felt terrible, which every city, there's rougher areas that we end up in. And honestly, Milwaukee just always felt nice.
Yeah.
It was definitely more walkable. I think CJ from Haywo's group was like talking about how like it's crazy how walkable Milwaukee is for being a Midwestern city. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I was shocked by.
We were a couple blocks away for our hotel from the con, and we just walked because it was honestly easier than trying to drive and park.
Yeah, which for people not in America, that's rare here.
Oh yeah, not expected. And like oftentimes when you do it, it's not really safe. So there were several spots that were like kind of just like a section of like, hey, this is walkable area. There's no cars here.
Yeah.
There's businesses. There's places to eat. Awesome. Good fun.
So Wednesday, the beginning of the con.
Yeah, technically.
We did a slow start to the day, had some fun. We had our badges mailed to us, which I recommend because people who had to get their badges on Wednesday in the line seem to have a lot less fun.
Shocking you say that standing in lines is not particularly fun.
Yeah, but so Wednesday night was supposed to be like the content creator meet and greet.
Yeah, which like we didn't really know about too far ahead to like properly sign up or whatever.
Yeah, we signed up Tuesday night at like 10:30 at night. And in addition to signing up, I checked the box that said, no, you can't tell anyone I'm here.
Which it would have been entertaining if you had said yes and they somehow managed to put us in there. It can be like, that's impressive.
Yeah. So anyway, we did some shout outs that we were going to be there on social media and everything. And then we went there knowing we were going to meet Miwa Bell and a bunch of other people that she was hanging out with. So the fantastic introduction we got to that group was to set the tone of the content creator meet and greet, where you get to go up and see each other for the first time and fans get to come up and talk to content creators they like, stuff like that. Eric, my wife, and I are sitting around and Miwa runs over. She's with Crack Duck, Mr. Bones 40K, Pancreas No Work, Froggy PhD was there, but I don't think she was there for this part.
Yeah, I think it was just those three initially, and yeah.
So she runs over and like twirl hugs my wife like a fucking anime, and then turns to everybody and goes, "Hi, this is my wife, and this is my wife's husband." To which I raise my hand and go, "Hi, I'm the one who sits in the cuck chair." And that's how I got to meet all of these other content creators.
Yeah, it works out perfectly.
It was great. It really sets the tone for dealing with us.
It was a good icebreaker kind of thing. It worked well.
Yeah, fantastic meeting everybody. Oh my God, it was so fun hanging out with them all week.
Yeah, I mean, we met up with them a few times throughout the week kind of thing. And like you said, we met a few other people at that little meet and greet thing, which, all right, the meet and greet thing itself was a disaster.
From what we've been told, it's been like that the last couple times, but that's fine.
It is fine. It was just kind of funny.
Part of the disaster was our own making, though, as we realized realized as we were standing there all like just drinking, talking to each other, we have Miwa, a VTuber, Froggy, a VTuber, you and I and my wife, none of who show our faces on our channel.
PNG tubers.
Yeah. Pancreas No Work, who is a disembodied voice. Crackduck's there, who is also not in his videos.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bones 40K, who is also a disembodied voice. And we're all standing around in a circle and we're like, wait a second, how is anyone supposed to meet us? No one knows what any of us look like, and we're all just talking to each other.
It is an interesting thing, especially because, like, how do you know I'm me?
That was fantastic. Then we met up with a couple other people there. There was Glacial Geek was there. Uncle Adam was there, but the whole week I never got a chance to talk to him. He was always surrounded by fans or working, and I didn't want to bother him. I did get to hang out with Arbiter Ian for a minute. Arbiter Ian, really fun guy.
We made him stand in the queue, the line to get into the preview show, even though he was press, essentially, and could just like walk in whenever he wanted.
Yeah, he just stood with us anyway the whole time.
Yeah.
But he was fun just because we were trading like day job stories with each other.
It's always good.
It was a really fun start to everything. Look, how that one meeting is handled was fun.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing, we met a lot of people throughout this convention. It's possible that we're going to forget. Really sorry.
Yes. Sorry to anyone we forget in our rundown here. Like, we're going off of memory.
And my memory is not particularly great as it is. So
don't worry. If we think about something an hour later, we'll just make Borrelio cut it back and make it sound like we were talking at the time, like we have full perfect memories.
There we go. But yeah, definitely gonna try. But yeah, if we miss, then really sorry. But then, yeah, the live show happened. That was fun.
Yes, it was. It was unironically fun. There was the funny moment where I was shitposting to the patrons, and the guy sitting to my left looked at my phone.
Oh.
Then opens his phone to Discord, and I see my own avatar, and then turns to me and very sheepishly asks, "Are you Brad?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Nice to meet you."
It was one of those like kind of the first like listener noticing us kind of thing, just like randomly, and it was like, oh,
not even for voice or anything, just sees me shit posting on Discord.
Yeah. That's great. It's awesome. I mean, to be fair, you probably want to be known more for shit posting than actual like good content.
True. Especially after the live show and then going back and then getting ready and then recording at 2 a.m. Crabby 2 a.m. Brad, who wanted to be asleep 4 hours earlier, was not well liked by the comments section. Got it, guys. We'll have more upbeat episodes for the next few weeks to make it up for you, I promise. Look, here's my defense. Crabby 2 a.m. Brad, he's a different guy. He's not me. We're other people. It's like past Brad and future Brad, who I don't know if that was in the mainline episode or not.
It's true. I've never seen them in the same room together, so it checks out.
But the Lord of the Rings slander stays, even now.
I disagree.
Borrelio threw extra fire on that when he was doing the name of the wind joke in the video edit. I didn't even know he threw that in there.
I opened up the video because like I knew that you shit talked Lord of the Rings. And I was like, I don't really feel like defending it at 2 a.m. right now. Whatever, fucking deal with it. It'll be fine. And then I saw some of the posts and I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did he actually say?
That you saw it, Borrelio.
And then I saw Borrelio just like, yeah, pour the gas on, fuckers. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was great. Anyway, that wrapped up Wednesday, though. Then Thursday started out.
Okay, before that, though, I did kind of enjoy I don't actually want to go back and do that, but I did kind of enjoy we're both in kind of scuffed setups for mics.
Oh, yeah.
It
reminded me of the early episodes of Solely Singleton, where like we go back and listen to that audio and like Eric and I cringed to death at how bad it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it's got this like scrappy kind of feel to like how the recording actually went, and like I said, there's like a certain amount of nostalgia that's just like, that was fun, it was kind of cool, but no, I don't want to go back to those shitty mic setups and stuff.
I'm happy to be back on like our nice mics and our nice setups with our audio interfaces and like perfect background noise cancellation, and like the only reason I sound like ass right now is that my throat caved in midway through the meet and greet Wednesday and has never recovered.
You got one wah. And then it was
we got
done.
one wah into the live show and I was gone.
Yeah, Thursday.
So Thursday started out with Borrelio waking up at 4:30 in the morning his time. Congrats to Borrelio starting his workday right. So he woke up and got the grenade that we threw to him, started his editing day, and to celebrate him, when we woke up the crack of like 10 a.m.
It was earlier than that.
Actually, no, we were there first thing at the crack of like, it was like 7:38 because we were there by 9.
We wanted to be there a little bit early so that, all right, I wanted to be there a little bit early so that I could get the StarCraft
It's
models.
true. It was like our one plan for the week. Like literally our week was based around running to the StarCraft booth at opening to buy all the stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I celebrated Borrelio's sacrifice. He can pull up the tweet thing of the shirt I wore, but I got my Wake Up Superstar shirt on for him.
That's so dumb.
I love that shirt. I got to meet content creators in that shirt and have like full conversations with them, forgetting I was wearing it until someone would bring it up.
The fact that you're so proud of that shirt is almost worse than the fact that you actually wear it.
I got it just in time for the convention too, because my employees were forcing me to buy it because of a joke at work. But yeah, fantastic.
Definitely forced to buy it.
They twisted my arm real hard to make me buy that. Anything to embarrass my employees is very easy to convince me to do. 6, 7 jokes, I'll do them all day. If it makes my employees cringe, I'll do it, I swear. But anyway, so Thursday, this was the beginning of the con proper.
Yeah.
This is like first full day, everything is open, tournaments are up and running, at least some of them.
Because like Wednesday before the meet and greet, we kind of like walked around the convention center a little bit and we're able to see like table setups with like some terrain and like, you know, there's a couple shop booths kind of set up outside in the halls, but like everything was still being set up. Thursday was like, all right, full steam ahead.
Yeah. So Eric and I made the plan before everything else, like before we even got there, that we were going to run and buy StarCraft.
Yeah.
You may ask, oh, did you get the starter box? To which we say, yes, and we bought every single box that they were selling.
Yeah, one of them all, please.
So we'll find out if that is enough to play full games or if we'll buy more. But yeah, very excited. And extremely excited because when we were at dinner with Haywo's group, SJ Arcade and a couple other guys were saying like, it has a really, really good rule design. Like we're going to really enjoy it from a rules standpoint for what they've done to like make StarCraft on a tabletop.
It did sound fairly unique, and the initial, oh, I want to take a look at this and see what it's like, is promising.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had seen, I'm pretty sure it was Eons of Battle had posted a video a few days before it and was like, yeah, the like actual models themselves are pretty good. Like it's solid quality. So it was one of those like, all right, twist my arm. I guess I'll get the StarCraft models.
Yeah, so we got that. We bought Trench Crusade for the billions of commenters who have been asking us if we're ever going to cover Trench Crusade. There you go. In 2 years, I will finally be ready to cover Trench Crusade.
I'm still annoyed that you bought like the resin ones and we didn't get any of the plastic.
Trench Crusade is like 90% resin still. They have
Yeah.
like 2 units out in plastic. They're like just random Prussians, and it's like the boringest looking faction. It's just dudes. I'm playing to my type here.
Yeah, you are.
I went with the Artillery Witch's Army because she sold me on the entire setting. As we've talked about previously, the most Kojima-ass character to ever exist. The Artillery Witch is like how you sales pitch this game.
It is pretty cool.
So got her faction and her, of course. And then also got
the book.
I know no one's going to believe me on this, but I picked at random, looking at everything, not knowing rules yet, the demons, who are also the only faction that uses magic.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a type.
It was very shocking to see the models that you picked out. But we did want to get the book. That was the start. And then like, okay, let's get some models since we're here kind of thing.
We got the rules book. And of course, like when talking to some patrons later about how we bought it, they're like, just so you know, the rules book doesn't have the most updated rules. You want to grab the free ones online. And it's like, yeah, that's how rules work. Rules books are collector's items. They're never correct.
Yeah, we definitely, it was not oh, we're going to get this so that we have the rules. It was this book looks pretty cool.
I want the pretty picture pictures, the lore that's in the front, and also it'll be cool to have the picture of the gun next to its data sheet thing.
So their booth could have used a little bit more work and
Yeah.
more importantly, employees manning it kind of thing. Cause there was a hell of a line.
Yeah, Treasure Crusade was not ready for their popularity. It's okay. They were crushing it.
Yeah. But like while we were in line, we were kind of, talking to the people and there was just like people were interested in the lore essentially.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, cool. That's good.
I gotta say, I thumbed through 2 or 3 times now the rule book, just reading like the lore sections and little snippets as I was, laying around at night, half asleep.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. I really like the like weird alt history into a different setting. It's like you start at our Earth and at a certain point it forks over to Hell Invades Earth and goes like full grimdark, Path of Exile level grimdark.
Yeah, it is interesting, at least from the very little that I know about it. And it sounds like other lore nerds are interested in it as well after like learning it kind of thing, which is always like, okay, it seems like they probably did something right.
Yeah, I know one of the cool things they did when they first started was they got some of the Black Library authors to like kickstart their lore by like getting a couple of them to do books, or at least one of them. I just vaguely remember that when the Kickstarter was happening.
At the very least, they absolutely nailed it on promo art stuff. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is there some awesome promo art?
So we've got 2 new games that we want to try out at some point here. I am not promising when we will cover these. Like, 0 promises. I guarantee you airbrushes me into StarCraft immediately.
It's likely.
But to answer everyone asking the questions, yes, we now own these.
But yeah, we continued shopping, and of course, you can't leave without buying paint.
No, I knew right away. Like, they announced the one-step line for Pro Acryl the week before the con, and I was like, cool, I'm buying this at the con day 1.
On the drive there, you were like, we're buying the Pro Acryl, and I was like, all right, yeah. We probably should, since we own basically every other paint from them.
But then there was the surprise of the pickups, which was I didn't realize Vallejo was going to be there with their new metal line.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, so I picked up a few of them.
All of them other than like 2. And then it was like, how about we just get the set?
Yeah, so it's Eric's fault I bought the whole set. That's what I wanted to entrap him with right there.
Yep. No, I'm the one who suggested it. It is true.
Scammed.
I wanted one of the sets that you didn't pick up. It was like 4 similar color kind of things in each pack. And I was like, you didn't pick up the green ones? Come on, gotta get those. And I was like, all right, clearly we should just get all of them.
Absolutely scammed.
It even comes in a nice little carrying case.
It does come in a nice case. I like the case.
It's fine.
We picked up a lot of stuff though. Picked up some other fun stuff like a plush my wife wanted, some funny shirts. Had a lot of fun. We explored the exhibition hall for like hours.
Oh yeah, just wandering around.
Yeah, we wandered into like a bunch of people too. So Brent and Casey had set up for Goblin Hobbies for their stamping stuff. They had set up a booth.
Yeah.
So we stopped by, said hi to them. Got to troll Casey a little bit when I sat down.
I feel like that's what you tried to do for everyone.
Basically.
Of like, haha, they don't know who I'm me.
It worked on Casey. It worked on Kieran, but sat down in front of Casey and he's like, oh, so you want to learn how to do the stamping things? And I'm like, I have a little experience. I have great proof of it from a whole army you did for me. And he was like, Brad! Which was the beginning of the people being like, you don't sound like you do on the episodes. And I'm like, no, I just don't sound like that today.
Right?
I died.
But yeah, at some point as we were wandering around buying stuff, we got split up.
Yeah, we ended up all over the place Thursday. We saw each other like twice.
Yeah, because I think you also managed to run into Eddie.
That was later in the evening, yeah. But
Okay.
While we were lost the first time, Hellstorm Wargaming, Hellstorm Mikey, he was there. We chatted like 4 times throughout the weekend. At one point, you and I got back together when I found out where Kieran was.
You were like standing there for way too long because I just like, happened to randomly walk by and I was like, huh, that looks like Brad just standing there.
Yep.
Awkwardly. I wonder what he's doing.
So I was standing behind Kieran, taking pictures of Kieran's head to ship to Kieran, who was not there. Big Kieran was there. Little Kieran was back in the UK because they couldn't fit him in the luggage.
Right.
So Big Kieran was actually working like his day job. So I didn't want to bother him for very long, but I did want to harass him because that's what friends do.
Yeah.
So while he was working with a customer, I just went up behind him and started taking pictures of like my badge against his head and like his hand behind his back saying, I could hold your hand stand, but you're not brave enough.
Just being an asshole.
Horrible things you should never do to someone you do not know very well, by the way. Do not do this to people unless they know you very well. Only with friends, not with strangers.
Good catch there.
If you're going to jail, the person that you're doing this to, you should trust that they will bail you out.
Yeah. That's about right.
But yeah, so screwed with Kieran for a bit.
But yeah, eventually he noticed. But we didn't really talk for too long because he had a job to do.
Kieran was busy with day job stuff, so we didn't talk for too long. So then we went back to bothering other people. I got to meet up with Tyler, $1 Billion Clown Farm, everyone's favorite from our game show episodes whenever he's on.
Yeah.
The master of the deadpan humor. He and his group had set up a booth. They were doing, I think it's Orc the brand is their new brand. They were selling stuff for that, and they're making like a little mini game. That was really cool.
Yeah, no, that looked cool. I grabbed a little pamphlet thingy.
Yeah, they're doing is it called like Monster Friends or something? Is there little like minis that they're starting up?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. At least, I don't know. Like I said, I grabbed a pamphlet. I'll figure out more in a little bit. But it's tough because like as we were meeting people, a lot of times they were working.
Yeah, it's always awkward when like you're visiting and it's like catching your friends at work.
Yeah.
Like in high school when they'd be working at the Dairy Queen or whatever, and you're like, hey, what's up? But I can't bother you. So thumbs up. See you later.
Right. It's like kind of awkward, but also at the same time kind of fun.
Yeah. Then at some point later that day, I had tried to find the Eons of Battle guys, right?
Yeah.
And I missed them like twice when someone would ping me like, oh, they're over here if you want to go meet them. And then Eric at one point texts me, where the hell are you? I'm standing here with them.
Yeah. I met up with them and we started talking. And then it was getting closer to like dinner time. And I was like, if you guys want to get dinner, we should just go out and get dinner and we keep talking kind of thing. But it was like, all right, I guess I'll just leave Brad. It doesn't need to be introduced. It doesn't matter. But nah, like I actually just had to send you a message and be like, hey.
That was the hilarious one. We left the convention center, like my wife and then Jay and the boys from Eons of Battle. We're like, let's get out of the convention center. We'll go get some nice food nearby. Little did we know it was opening day for baseball.
Yeah, it was a little crazy trying to find a place that's just kind of like, all right, let's get some dinner.
Yeah, so we bounced out of like 3 bars and went back to the pizza joint we had been at the day before.
It was good pizza.
And we got there and it was like pizza by the slice. Like they just like, you know, get you a slice of pizza out of the pizzas they have there. And they had no pizza.
Yeah.
They were dead out.
It was kind of a failure.
They were like, if you can hold on, we'll make a pizza. And we're like, yeah. We can't find anywhere else to eat anyway. So it's not like we were going to say no.
Yeah, kind of. It worked out because it was great talking with them.
It was really fun. And then my wife had to be the party pooper. We're like talking about all of these plans for episodes and like other fun stuff we've done and telling stories.
Getting feedback on like what the reveals show thoughts were. And
then my wife is like kicking my leg, is like, hey, did you not just listen to the guy? What are you talking about? And she's like, they close at like 2 minutes from now. And we're like, oh, we're the only people in there.
Yeah, that was that kind of sucked because like I feel like we could have kept talking for a while, but it was starting to get late. It was a long day.
Yeah, we got their info though, so don't worry. We'll do stuff in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, very fun crew to hang out with. They were a riot. And then we went back for like late night hanging out doing stuff just to like get some more out of the day. We did the Golden Demon. Like it's only Thursday night, not everything is there yet. And we did a walk through there to take pictures of what was there already. Dear God, it's so good.
Well, I have some complaints. Not on the models. The models were beautiful. Basically, all of them were rather amazing. But the way they were displayed and shown, holy shit. Come on, guys.
Yeah, the lighting's not the greatest in those cases.
Not the greatest. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, it's actively bad. It's wild to have these models that are so amazing and then just do that to them.
It was a little rough. We got some sweet pictures of them though. Not as great as they could be, but good enough pictures to show like, good Lord, the talent on display.
Yeah. And like, I guess I kind of love the different categories, like as you're just walking down all these shelves.
Yeah, the way it's segmented off for what they were all applied to, so you get to see all the ones in a category together next to each other. It is really nice that way. Lighting problems aside, I like that part a lot.
Yeah, it's very, very fun to look at them all together, especially once you get to the diorama area. area.
Oh my God. Dude, the one diorama at the end, I don't know if we'll have good pictures of it. It was very hard to take pictures of, but there's the verses for, it was like an orc flyer flying over. It was doing a cool like forced perspective effect with these epic scale bane blades down below. So it would look like he's like 40,000 feet up flying above them dropping bombs.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Some of the stuff on display there is crazy. The Space Marine 2 climax battle being one of the verses.
Yeah, that was so well done. Holy shit. That was so cool to see. There was just a lot of really cool ideas that were also executed extremely well.
Yes, fantastic stuff. And like someone did these old Hammer Ultramarines.
Yeah.
To such a great degree. It was insane.
I'm trying to think if I actually managed to get a picture of them.
I have pictures, but my camera's not the greatest, but like I'll get Borrelia what I've got, and hopefully Eric had the nice camera. Hopefully Eric has better shots of a lot of the armies.
I had the nice camera, except I don't know how to use it. I also don't have any way of like stabilizing it in any aspect. So we'll see if any picture is any good.
Yeah, and I have to say, as like a first time seeing the stuff at Golden Demon for one of the events, the Golden Demon article to time this video went up literally a few hours before we hit record here. Eric hasn't opened the article yet. I did scroll through it because he was doing stuff.
Cheater.
I'm impatient. The thing I will say, the models they're showing off in here, fantastic. They look better in person. I really wish they had more angles and shots to show off how impressive some of this stuff is. Because like, I feel like with some of the pictures they take, you're like, that looks pretty good, but why did it win over everything else? And you like really wish they would take more shots to show off like all the different angles to you and stuff. I know it's a lot of work. Like taking proper mini pictures is a pain in the ass.
But like you could do it for like some of the standout, like these are the ones we've graded as being the best kind of thing.
But the thing that I want to note, having now seen the cabinets for the first time, is yes, the ones here are amazing, but there is 100 more that are this amazing that did not make the cut that you wish everyone could see online. I so much wish some of the other ones that we took pictures of had like cool pictures in a big article somewhere.
I feel like there's a certain amount of like, they should just have a team that's taking pictures as they're submitted so they can post pictures of like every model.
It would be a lot of work.
It'd be a shitload of work.
I get the logistics problems.
Like I said, you'd have to have a team trying to do this like the entire time.
Yeah, because like for the unit or kill team category, my favorite one on Thursday, like the one that was my personal favorite, didn't even make the top cut.
Yeah.
And I liked it over one of the ones that is here that was there on Thursday. Like I loved this one. Just like as a vague thing of like the one I loved most was a set of Dark Angels. And they looked so cool. I'm sure we have pictures of them because I at least got pictures of them. I think my wife even took pictures of them, but they were gorgeous. I loved it so much. I'm not a Dark Angels fan, and I was like, these are beautiful. But it didn't even make the top cut, and it's so sad that people can't even see in a GW article. I just wish more of them could be in these articles.
I think I did try and take a picture of those, but there was something weird with the reflection that I couldn't.
Yeah, I was having lots of reflection problems with the glass too. Sorry for the amateur hours for my phone pictures I took if they end up on the episode.
There's definitely several pictures that I took and then ended up deleting because I was like, this is actually unusable. Which, given the ones that I kept, kind of shows off the how bad some of them were.
Yeah.
Okay, so who actually won that then?
It was the Cadians, TD McDonald. The second place, Lucas Wiggering, theirs was there on Thursday and was also phenomenal. I took pictures of those too. Like that's right next to the Dark Angels in my catalog here. Those ones were also crazy. That is one of the things though of like on Thursday, not all of them were in there yet. So like a lot of the ones that ended up in this winning article, I didn't see until we went back through like Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, and I wasn't able to take really any pictures the second time through.
No, because there's a billion people there Saturday. Like when the full cabinets are there.
Yeah, there was a line when we were initially here going through it, but like it didn't feel like everybody was like, come on, move, like keep it moving kind of thing. Like there was an amount of like, oh, we're all relaxed and able to just enjoy it. Later on, once it was like kind of filled, it felt like people wanted to like keep moving movie kind of thing. So just like sitting there trying to figure out camera shit didn't feel right. But yeah, I mean, the winners of this are pretty good.
Again, this was my first time ever seeing Golden Demon stuff in person. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, stuff can look good in a video on YouTube, right?
Sure.
But when you see it in person, you're like, oh, what they say about like cameras are really rough for trying to get good pictures to show off a mini is so true, especially when you're dealing with this crazy level of quality.
And you don't get to see multiple angles of it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's still a little hard because of how it's displayed, but you get more than the one photo.
Carlos Garcia did Mouth of Mork, right? The Pretty Birdie.
Yeah, okay.
That thing in real life was so stunning. Holy shit. I don't think I got a good picture because I was having like reflection hell trying to take pictures of that thing. It was so beautiful in real life.
It really was.
I think we're a little biased because again, it was Pretty Birdie. But the Old World winner, I remember we were trying to take pictures of for a while. It was so good. Lucas Zaba's Pegasus Night.
Yeah.
That thing was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tons of cool stuff. If you ever have the chance to go to one of the events that has a Golden Demon event at it, I highly recommend it. Yes, there will be a long line. It is worth the wait to go look at those models. Like, treat it like a museum almost of like, I'm going to go for the next 2 hours and stare at minis that are so insane.
I think that is actually a great recommendation of like treat it like a museum kind of thing.
Yeah, like you're going to an art show for real.
Basically, because you are essentially.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. There's a lot of really cool stuff to see.
But anyway, I did manage to corner Eddie from GW for a minute and thank him for how good of a job he and Adam Troke did on reveal night, dealing with the tech difficulties. Talked for a little bit about like how hard it is on a tech team doing that stuff and how it's like doing live content in the past, not for this show, for day job stuff, like understanding the horrible stress of that and knowing how badly me and my team have floundered where those guys are able to pull that off and like keep everything upbeat, keep the show running, keep the hype running. Oh my God, it was so good. And getting to talk with them about all that was really fun. I did have the awkward moment where he was like, oh, and who are you? I'm like, I'm Brad from the Poor Hammer podcast. And he had this like defensive moment in his head trigger where it's like oh no, I'm with a possibly dangerous customer. I need to make sure I do not say anything that could be said on it. And like very quickly questioning went towards, oh, so what do you play? Changing topic away from anything, like don't let him ask about anything with the next edition. Don't do anything like that. And I was like, I get it. I'm not going to bother you about that. I promise.
Nah, it makes sense.
I just want to say how like what we are for you guys.
Yeah, we also had a few people notice us, like, you know, patrons or listeners just in general, which always pretty awesome.
The amount of times we would be doing something and someone would be like, are you Eric from Poor Hammer? They always recognized Eric immediately, but like no one at all. I think one person realized I was Brad because like my voice has been so fucked.
It's still not right.
No, it's bad. Like I can hear it in my own voice. So I'm sure this episode, hopefully this is the end of Kermit the Frog Brad, because we're going to have 2 weeks before we record again. So next episode should be normal Brad sound, hopefully.
You've got some time to recover. It'll be basically just in time for spring allergies to really
start kicking my ass.
It was awesome meeting people who are listeners and stuff. Hopefully you continue listening after meeting us. But I mean, that was like throughout the weekend.
Yeah. We managed to give away dozens of useless coasters.
Yeah. I mean, that was the plan originally of like, we had the like Rev 1 that were incorrectly sized objective markers. So it was like, all right, we'll give them away as like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Turns out we have a lot more than expected.
We'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
That's future Brad's problem. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, basically. Friday was honestly, it was just basically walking around, taking pictures, and mostly just looking at models, especially because like tournaments were really like going full bore kind of thing of like, all right, now you get to see models in play. And that's the Golden Demon was awesome. Those models are amazing. It's like a museum, very stunning. You get to see it and you're like, wow, look at that. That's cool.
But
like it has also some of the museum museum vibes of being like, it's not actively being used kind of thing.
It's an art piece more than a game piece.
Yeah.
And it's something that is so far outside of the realm of what I could ever do that it feels unreal still.
Yep.
Whereas when you walk around the tournaments
Yeah.
and you see the armies in play that people are actively playing with,
It just kind of hits different.
they are kit bashed to be cool, unique things that are all that person personified and like painted to their skill level, whatever it may be, and like moving them around the table, throwing dice. Man, is that like an unbeatable high to see.
It's also like you get two armies up against each other kind of thing.
Yeah, that's another part of it. The clashing of two like unified forces against each other, whatever they may look like.
There were a few that like I would take some pictures or like, you know, watch the game for a while and then wander off, go look for some other ones, come back like, you know, a couple turns later kind of thing. And it'd be like, oh, this is how it's kind of shaking up kind of thing. This is where we're at. Things have evolved pretty awesomely. This is exciting. I don't know. It's just more fun, I guess. I don't know how to really explain it. Like I said, the Golden Demon stuff was awesome, but I kind of had a little bit more fun just looking around at everybody else playing their army.
I honestly, exact same feeling of like, I had the high of Golden Demon and then I had the higher high that was seeing a tournament of armies going up against each other. And it was like, you went to the 40K main event and there's a ton of beautiful armies. We were taking pictures of those. Then you go to AOS. The trope is just true. The AOS players hobby at a level no one else does. Dear Lord, the AOS armies were so fucking beautiful.
It kind of hits a little different. I mean, there were some really, really nice 40K armies.
Yeah, there were amazing 40K armies. It's just the AOS ones, holy shit.
But on like an average kind of thing. Yeah, the AOS is pretty good.
And then we went through like every hall that day. Like Friday, we went to everywhere. We wanted to get pictures of everything, see every event going on, because Friday's like the main event day where like every major event is either starting or ending depending when. And so like we went all over. Tons of cool events. The 40K doubles event was very fun looking. There was a cool event by Play On where it was like the Coliseum, like 500 point games. Very cool if you don't want to drag a bunch of models with you. That looked like a fun one.
Yeah, that was actually pretty interesting.
Obviously the main events were going on. They were huge.
Yeah, there was a giant main hall kind of thing where like Horse Heresy was going on, and it was wild how much was actually happening, essentially.
We had some fun moments too. So we finally got to meet Vince Venturella in person. The man himself got to hang around awkwardly for like 20 minutes while people more deserving got to talk to him about their hobbying stuff. And then we got to go over and be like, hi, Vince.
Yeah, managed to track him down for at least like a couple minutes because he's always busy.
Yeah, the like 3 free minutes Vince has in a week.
Yeah, but it was awesome meeting him, and hopefully we're going to do something again.
Maybe before or just after this episode airs, we will see sometime soon. There may be crossover content of sorts. We shall see.
That's the hope.
Plans always fall apart.
Yeah.
We finally got to meet Mr. Wargames Live himself, Joe. He was doing all sorts of work over the week. Dear Lord, I do not envy the amount that man has to do at something the size of Adepticon.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those like we wanted to at least introduce ourselves and be like, hey, we should try and do something that would be cool. Not sure exactly what or when, but like that would be kind of neat.
I want to do an episode all about Wargames Live and streaming Warhammer and like making it something approachable and watchable like every single week, showing off the competitive scene, stuff like that. If you want that type of episode, please actually tell us like, hey, I would love that. I really want to know more about blank. You know, I want this aspect covered because I would like to know what people want out of an episode like that, because I really want to get Joe on to do that, because in Eric and mine's opinion, like he has uplifted everything to do with competitive play for like watchability and exposure and like making people care about it.
Yeah, essentially. But also he's put in a lot of work. There were several times that, you know, we would like try and open up the stream and be like, okay, does it look like he might have some moments so we can kind of like more or less go fucking ambush him as he's on a break.
And go support him because his doggies need treats.
Ah, yes, very true.
And then maybe go support us because my doggie needs treats. And Borrelio's doggies need treats. And Eric needs a dog.
That would be neat, but it's a little bit more difficult in an apartment.
Hashtag fund Eric's house so he gets a dog.
Yeah.
Very expensive dog. What did this dog cost? A mortgage.
That's about right. Worth it though.
It is worth it. Dogs are the greatest.
Yeah, there was a few times that we split up during this day as well. You had said like, "Oh, you met up with a few people," and I was like, "Shit, I didn't even know that they were here." Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So I eventually tracked down $1 Billion Clown Farm.
We bounced all over. Like Miwa was with us half the week, skipping over like half of our Miwa stories.
Yeah, it's one of those that like we met up with people a few times throughout the week, including, listeners and stuff. That would just be because, we were basically just wandering around.
Yep.
It was pretty common to run into people a couple times.
It was very funny to be asked multiple times to take a picture of a group.
Yeah.
And like, it's like a competitive Warhammer group. And in my head, I'm like, at least one of you knows of us and has no fucking idea who this asshole taking this picture right now is.
Yeah.
It was very amusing to me in my head.
I mean, also at the same time, it might be a good thing.
Yeah, if they play Black Templars, it's probably good they don't know who I am. It's going to be real awkward when we actually work with Jay.
It'll work out. It'll be fine.
Look, I just made sure to be very quiet when I walked through the Lord of the Rings tournament area.
That was a smart idea, yeah.
I didn't need them chasing me around in their wheelchairs.
Wow. Just keep piling it on. Fucking hell.
It's free engagement, Eric. The rage posts are great. I will say, shout out to the Battletech people. I almost made fun of you. So we were exploring the halls.
Yeah.
And Battletech fans are always in comment sections for like anyone who makes Warhammer content of like, you gotta cover Battletech. We're great.
Yeah.
We went to one of the halls and like there was a Battletech area and it was like 5 people playing. And I'm like, for the billions of you in comment sections, not many of you show up to the big tabletop thing. But then we found the main hall where the main Battletech tournament was. We're like, okay, all right, there's a big tournament.
So, I mean, that was actually one of those, like, an example of there were a lot of games being played throughout the entire convention.
Yeah, it was not just Warhammer. There's so much stuff going on, like really cool stuff. Conquest is dangerous just because Conquest has an army of orcs riding dinosaurs, which is like
pretty fucking awesome.
Look at this podcast and things we like and the crossover there. Have to stay away from Conquest just because like that's one dangerous faction they've got a hold of.
Because we literally just bought into 2 more games. Yeah.
It's a podcast expense, Eric. It's a business expense. Think of it like that. It's not me wasting my money on a whim like always.
It's one thing to be like, yeah, it actually kind of is maybe, but also we literally don't have time. But yeah, just awesome seeing all the different games as we were wandering around. Some of them were a bit smaller, but even then, it seemed like it was common that people would get together and be like, oh yeah, we've been playing at Adepticon for the last 10 years kind of thing. This is what they do. They get together and that's what they play, which is awesome.
It was very fun to get the extra lore of Vince being like, yeah, I'll hang out with Haywo's group and we'll close the bar playing Magic until like 3 a.m. And I'm like, how the hell do you get up in the morning after that? I'm asleep at 10 p.m. That's past bedtime for me, sir.
I'm also asleep at 10 a.m.
Fuck off.
Yeah, the only one that we actually didn't get to was the historical because they were up at like the top floor.
We had honestly forgotten about it at first, and then we went back to there Saturday and went to the historical room to see all that, which was pretty cool.
It was one of those that like as we were wandering around on Friday, we saw a bunch of stuff and that was like it was all just distracting because there was so much. Once, got done for the day and I started like thinking through, I was like, we really didn't see much of the historical stuff. That has to be a thing. They're here. I know it. I absolutely know. I want to go see. So yeah, Saturday ended up going and taking a look at all those, which it is quite a bit different, but I'm sure, Brad, you're not a huge fan of it.
No. Hey, time out.
I think they're really cool.
No, time out. Historical's never going to be the game I want to play. I need either fantasy or sci-fi. I actually like fantasy more than sci-fi a lot, but 40K is just the game we play. But that being said, it's always cool to see something that people love, like the passion behind it. Even if you don't like anime, there's an appeal to anime conventions, right?
True.
Just because like it's people who are like in the thick of what they love.
When you see a group of people enjoying and having fun and just a bunch of positive emotions going on, it's like, oh yeah, this is quite nice.
Yeah. So like the historical part, I greatly enjoyed walking through there. I'm never going to play a historical game, but it was really cool. I didn't even think about the one they were doing, like the air battles over the Pacific. specific as a game.
Yeah.
I've never even thought of a game like that. Like I've seen Star Wars a billion times do it, but I've never thought of it for a historical game. And I was watching them play that. I'm like, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's something about the way that those games play that kind of interests me.
Dude, it doesn't matter like which game we're talking about. There was so many people playing every single tabletop game.
Yeah.
We like skipped over the fact when we were going through all the halls, like there's 2 giant Star Wars games that somehow are both alive at the same time and massive.
Weird, right?
I don't get it. I don't understand those giant IPs. But then there was the Marvel game where we saw people with crazy armies.
Holy shit. That was phenomenal.
The one they're playing on like pinball tables from like some Marvel villain who I'm sure makes the world a pinball machine. I don't know my Marvel villains that well.
Dude, I can't help here at all.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's Mysterio because Mysterio can do whatever.
Sure. That sounds right.
And like crazy displays they've got set up just for playing the game. And then took cool pictures of people's armies in all the games. Hilariously, one of the guys we stopped to take pictures of for the Marvel army he had, a few minutes later, we're taking pictures of something else. And he comes up and he's like, hey, this might be weird. Are you Eric from Poor Hammer?
Yeah.
And we're like, hi. He's like, I don't even play Warhammer. I've just seen some of your stuff before. And we're like, hey. I'm like, how the fuck do people keep recognizing that?
That was also kind of one of the weird things of like, there were several people that like were like, hey, are you, from Warhammer kind of thing? And then they'd be like, yeah, I don't really play Warhammer. And it's like, what? What do you mean?
There's a lot of people who enjoy Warhammer as an IP who do not play at all, though. Like, think of the fact, like, the biggest channel is, like, Luton. Luton is huge and is just a lore channel, man.
Yeah, it's true. And, like, if you're also playing other tabletop games, you're in the similar ideas of genre, but it makes sense and it's awesome that, like, apparently we're doing something kind of right. It's just, it was shocking every once in a while to be like, oh, you don't do Warhammer, like, at all? But you still listen to us and like keep listening.
Weird, but thank you.
Yeah, very much appreciate it.
Continue doing that. That's income. We like that.
Continue doing that. Yeah, I think this is where, as like a YouTuber, you're supposed to be like, hey, if that's one of you, comment in the...
Fuck you. We don't need to comment that bad. Jesus.
What game you play instead. I don't know. I don't know how to do this, okay?
You rage bait Lord of the Rings fans. It gets you an extra 500 comments on a video compared to its view count. It's genius.
It's genius. All you have to do is worry about the P.O. box.
You're the one who checked it the last 2 times. I'm safe, bitch.
He's got me there.
You're eating the pipe bomb, not me.
Fuck you, past Brad. Yeah, Saturday, I feel like I was kind of burnt out a little bit.
Yeah, Saturday was the man, we're old day. We woke up and I was like, everything hurts. I'm old.
Yeah, man. That's like one of the big things of, it's been a while since the last convention. My feet were killing me, man.
Yeah. I went back to my factory floor days of like, yes, I remember constant pain.
Yeah, just like completely swollen and like, oh yeah, that's healthy, right?
And Saturday's the day where Miwa suckered us, as she always does, and was like, can you guys wake up early and get me Noble Team 6 for the Halo Flashpoint game? And we were like, yeah, I guess. We're probably going to be up because we're too damn old to sleep in properly.
Yeah, it was one of those where it was like, it's not actually that early. They open at like 10.
Yeah.
We'll be up. We just have to actually go do the thing.
So Jenny, Eric, and I all go to the booth and stand in line to pick Miwa up her Noble Team. And it was hilarious because the guys like handing out the boxes because like they were only selling like a certain amount each day because it's like a limited release thing.
Yeah, apparently it was like quite limited.
Yeah, and he hands one to Jenny. Then he goes to hand one to me. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. We're just getting hers. And he gave me this look like, you're not just gonna flip this online or something, you idiot?
Yeah.
Like, just let other people have it.
No, it makes sense. I'm sure that we could have sold it as a flip for more, but it's also like...
The look of disbelief of me passing up buying it was just hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got Miwa that. And then like 3 hours later, we're doing something else. And Miwa texts, hey, we're just hungover at Denny's right now. Be there in about an hour. It's like lunch.
We were actually trying to figure out lunch. Like, what are we going to do for lunch? Oh, okay.
So that was great. So then Miwa had to pay for Noble Team by taking my wife out to dinner while Eric and I went and hung out with Haywo's group and played Magic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the first time that you'd play Magic in a little while, huh?
Since Bricky was up here last, which was what, like 6 months ago?
Something like that.
I still got it. I took 2 people out of the game and lost to the guy playing group hug because he bribed me.
I blame you for us losing that. You made the worst decision.
At the end of the game, SJ's like, that's what you get for trusting the group hug player. I'm like, oh no, you misunderstand. I did not trust him whatsoever. I called what was going to happen and that I should have just killed him, but he offered me a free extra turn, sir. You don't turn this down.
Yeah, but like also it wasn't an extra turn that you had known about. He's just like, yeah, I could probably do it. You had no idea if it was true or not. I mean, he went through with it.
He did. And at one point, I got all of the cowards playing against me to phase out at once to avoid me. I was alone in this game. All of my opponents phased out, which makes me spiritually the winner.
It makes you the one without friends.
Everyone will phase out and ghost your ass rather than play Magic with you. Peace.
God, that's brutal.
I'm just playing with a bunch of dinosaurs, goddammit. Discover is a great mechanic, by the way, as someone who hasn't shuffled many Magic cards since they made Discover a mechanic.
It was a cool deck.
Cascade, but better, is a great mechanic. We need more of this. I love Cascade.
It had some downsides compared to it, but yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and then we went to dinner with Haywo's group and had the hilarious
Oh,
to the
boy.
first restaurant, and they're like, sorry, it's like a 2-hour wait. And we're like, all right. We audibled across the street, and they're like, sorry, it's a 3-hour wait. And then we're like, all right, well, there's a Chinese joint across the street from here. We'll try that one.
Sorry, it's a 2-day wait.
The guy's like, I'd have to order more chairs, so it's going to be a couple days. And we're like, all right, sir, great answer.
Absolutely ridiculous.
We'll try number 4. And we had amazing brats at this great diner.
It was a great end result, but after the third one,
Our 4th stream pick was a 10 out of 10. Imagine how good those first 3 must have been.
yeah, right? But there was some concern building up as we were like hopping around the area going, anybody got food? Soonish?
Then we got back and the army showcase was going on,
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
which I didn't know was a thing. We were like in the car on the way back and CJ Yobusta's like, yo, I bet they're doing the army showcase right now. We should check that out. And so we just went over there and started snapping pictures of all these amazing armies on just crazy display boards.
So earlier on, I had tracked down a few people actually playing Stompas just because, you know.
I have one picture of the display board. Eric got a picture of it in play where like the Stampas were removed. I have a picture that's not as good detail, but it was like the most Eric get over here display board I had ever seen. We'll make sure Borelio has a picture in the show notes of it, of the dual Stampas being built. Like their heads are on cranes going down to the Stampas. And like it's this like whole diorama of like Stampa construction site. Crazy cool.
It was cool. I'd also, like I said, I tracked down a few Stampas. There was another guy that had like a Stampa display kind of thing going on. And he was even in like cosplay. And, you know, he was talking about like entering a contest kind of thing or whatever. And I was like, that's awesome. I have no idea what you're talking about, man. But apparently he had his thing set up for this. And yeah, we got back and seeing them all was like, it was cool, man. So much story shown in like, you know, all of these models and scenes kind of thing.
We got so many cool pictures. Like, I'm trying to think of them to like tell the audio audience of like a Night Lord's castle being raided by space wolves, the Slanesh party bar thing where he had actual like techno music playing on it, a light up dance floor, Sisters of Battle raiding it like cops.
I tried to take photos and I think I have a couple photos that might be okay. And a video earlier on in the day when I found them, because they were in the tournament playing with it. And as they were like starting a new round, I was like, oh, can I get some pictures of that? It looked a lot cooler once they were able to like properly backdrop so that the lights dance floor you could see. It was a little weird when it was like on, but you couldn't actually see anything. But yeah, that was cool. cool. There was also that giant tree with the Nurgle and like
Oh, dude.
great unclean one down in the bottom, and the tree like had a mouth. That was cool, man.
Someone had this beautiful dark mech army that was like
Yeah.
Chaos Knights, dark mech, crazy kit bashes, tons of green stuff, cloaks on them and stuff.
There was a cool corn that just had just like overflowing with blood everywhere kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's classic, essentially, which is always fun. There was a Helldrake on one of them.
Oh yeah, that I was teasing Kieran with.
Yeah.
Where it was like pulling the Thousand Suns party barge.
It was something, yeah. I don't entirely remember everything other than there was a Helldrake.
There is pictures in the chat, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was so amazing. I cannot stress enough how amazing going to this event was. Like, we didn't even meet everyone we intended to meet. We saw Adam Troke like 7 times, but every time the man was working his ass off and I didn't want to bother him. Saw Duncan Rhodes a couple times, but he was always teaching people and stuff. Didn't want to bother him.
Yeah. I saw Marco Frazioni
Yeah.
walking around, and
Eric saw Marco and is like, oh yeah, I saw Marco. If you want to go say hi, he was like over in this area. I never got to see Marco. I would have immediately gone and bothered him because goddamn, I wanted to meet him. We never got to see John or Scott. My wife saw John for like 2 seconds one time and it was like, he's over there. And we never saw him after that.
it was a few times that she would send us messages of like, hey, this person's over in this area. And it's like, what? Where?
Yep. And like 10 minutes later, we get there and it's like, they're long gone. Saw Sam Lenz, saw Uncle Adam, but both of them were always busy when we saw them. I don't know who else was there that we didn't see. We tried to meet everyone that we knew was there. There was lots of people that I'm sure we didn't get to see everybody. I actually feel kind of bad about the ones we didn't get to see. We almost didn't see Tyler because he's from California, so I didn't realize he was coming. So like I bothered everybody that I knew. And then on like Wednesday evening, we're like doing the pre-show like walk around and I hear Tyler's voice behind me. I'm like, was that $1 Billion Clown Farm? And I turn around and he like is just like the corner of my vision just going into the exhibition hall I can't go into. And I was like, well, I guess I got to text him and see if it's him. And it was. And then I found out where he was.
To be fair, like there was no real chance to see everybody.
No.
We're going to try and go next year.
Absolutely. I want to go again. This is like an us thing and not a everybody thing. I would love to try, now that we know a lot of people who go, to get together like a live game show, like for one of our game show episodes and do one live. I don't know how we get in touch with Adepticon to do this. It's something I would love to do though, because having access to that many fun people at once is like, you're not getting that twice in a year. Like I gotta get a hold of people to do that. Like even if we don't do something official, I gotta like kidnap everyone and get them stuck in a hotel room together.
Yeah. Maybe word that a little bit differently when we send out the request and message, but
no, that's exactly the wording I will use. Hello, we are here to kidnap you. I'm working my day job though. I'm not just here on vacation.
I think you're misunderstanding the message and what kidnap means.
You're part of a game show now. Get in the car.
Get in the car. There's a lot of potential to do different things next time. I kind of want to do some like playing.
Yes, I want to play an event, but we cannot say which event we want to play because I am sure that will doom us.
It's not going to be the main event other than like if we say it's the main event because we're trying to troll you guys.
Yeah, I want to find a fun sub-event of some type for some game for us to go play, just because I think it would be really fun, but I also don't want to ever tell anyone in advance until I have my ticket to it.
The other thing is like, you gotta try and figure out a better way taking pictures.
Yeah, we need to learn how cameras work in the next 12 months.
Because it's pretty amateur.
You were taking really nice pictures by the end. I was pretty impressed. You were figuring the camera out.
It's still just, it takes so fucking long that it shouldn't to do like anything.
Yeah.
But the other thing is like, I feel like it could be useful for us to set up like a time to like meet and greet anybody who's interested. Because I think that there were people that wanted to meet us, but like we were constantly just walking around seeing everything.
Yeah.
That it was like, where are you at? At Adepticon.
Which I gotta say, I'm thankful for the fact that no one knows who we are.
Yeah.
I don't need you to never know what my face looks like. It's out there. Like literally, I've told you people where you could find it if you ever cared. But like, I love the semi-anonymous nature of like being able to walk around and do whatever the hell we want and no one knows or cares who we are. Because like, we've heard the opposite side of things of like,
well, I mean, it's just one of those, like we would see like Vince.
Yeah.
Was always busy with talking to people or like taking pictures and doing like stuff essentially. essentially, that he had to do.
Yeah, people who like have their face on their channel where it's like, yeah, I don't get to move if I walk on the exhibition floor.
Yeah.
I will have constant people talking to me and I'm like, man, it's really great that I can walk around for 4 hours before someone goes, hey, nice shirt. I like Poor Hammer. And I go, nice, thanks. I'm glad. Or I think they're pretty shit.
Did you hear that guy's hot take?
He's terrible. Fuck that guy. He needed a nap.
Yeah,
that was my favorite comment when someone was like, Brad needed a nap. I'm like, I fucking agree.
Yeah. Brad agrees.
Brad wanted to be in bed.
But yeah, we could do like some kind of like, hey, we're gonna be here for like an hour or two kind of thing. Also, because that means that we could sit down for an hour or two and not feel bad about missing out on seeing other stuff.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about like multiple nights. They played Adeptus Titanicus with full-size Titans, and we were just watching them play.
Yeah.
What a weird event to have be a thing.
Really cool. Towards the end of Saturday, we were like getting ready to head out. One of them broke. And that sucked. Just like snapped the legs off.
That's a very expensive model to have break.
Yeah. It seemed like it was probably going to be fixable, and like anything's fixable because those guys know how to make it work essentially. But it was just one of those like, damn, that sucks.
Oh, we didn't even talk about cosplayers, Eric.
Oh, true.
Dude, there were sick cosplays. Eric has shots of a guy who did Expedition 33 Halo hybrid stuff.
Yeah.
That was so sick.
Yeah, I think there was a couple Halo.
There's always Halo cosplayers. At an anime convention, there will be Halo cosplayers.
There wasn't like a lot, but there were several, and they were quite well done.
Yeah, there was the Amazing Space Marine.
Yeah, holy shit. That one was wild.
Every time we go to a con and I see someone in full-size Space Marine armor, I always am like, you are a champion. There is no way that I could wear that for longer than 30 seconds.
No.
It's gotta be like, I have trouble wearing normal cosplay. It gets too hot real fast in an event. Wearing full 8-foot tall, probably 50 plus pounds of Warbler and other crap armor, dear Lord, is that a lot of work.
Yeah, but it looked really awesome.
It looks great. And if you ever Google us, it's fantastic because one of my favorite things is you see the autocompletes on Google and it's like Poor Hammer, Brad and Eric face pictures or something is like one of the top ones. And it's literally just random cosplayers that I have posted going, look at this amazing cosplay. And so it's like this Giga Chad guy in this giant Grey Knight armor. And it's like, yes, that's what I look like.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, very cool cosplay as well. I'm sure that there's other bits and stories, and like as we're talking, I'm like rethinking of stuff going on. But yeah, there was just a lot.
I will say this. The patrons were right. I like making fun of Horus Heresy, as we all know. But they were like, you got to go down to the Horus Heresy area. You will love the amount of like random, really well done paint jobs and like custom work done. And I'm like, guys, it's going to be Space Marines versus Space Marines. How could I like this? It was fucking awesome.
It was very cool, wasn't it?
The absolute peak Space Marine hobbyists. As someone who does not enjoy Space Marines, if you are like me and you could not care about Space Marines, the Horus Heresy guys down in that hall playing that tournament have the most gorgeous you suddenly care armies.
Yeah.
Very careful not to get noticed down there, so I didn't get stabbed.
That's probably smart, but
gorgeous like Fists of the First Templar army, which is like ultimate anti-Brad army, but holy shit, it's beautiful.
Fantastic selling of like, oh wow, this is actually pretty cool, isn't it?
Dude, like even the terrain. There was like, I took pictures of it. Like my wife, Miwa, and I are all standing there looking at this terrain, and it's like a set we own with some 3D printed parts that were actually really clever.
Yeah.
That we never know what to do with. And they turned them in these cool giant smokestacks and made like, they took like one of those, the candles, like the fake LED candles that do like the fake flicker effect, right?
Yeah.
The little like pawn ones. They wrapped it in cotton and then spray painted parts of the cotton to be darker to make it look like smoke and put those on top of these smokestacks. And it looks so cool. I will make sure Borrelio has pictures for the show for those. Everything down there was crazy. They had like this 5-foot tall worm that was 3D printed. That was crazy. Like, it's on top of Titans, full size Titans, and this thing is dwarfing them.
Yeah, that was a wild diorama. There was actually several awesome armies down there.
We could talk about like all the fun stuff we saw for hours still.
We did run into a listener who noticed us and wanted to show off.
Oh, the Kytt Bash Dark Mech?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, we got pictures of that. That was crazy.
That was pretty cool. It was one of those, like, it was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. Brad, get the fuck back over here.
That's true.
Because you had wandered off.
Yeah, that was right before I dragged everyone over. They have BattleTech pods there for people who remember that, like every birthday party growing up.
The, like, video game pod thing.
Yeah, they're pods that you play a video game first-person version of BattleTech in, for those who don't know. And it's like a full, like, you're in a cockpit with, like, gears and levers and pulleys and buttons and doodads and, like, 5 screens on top of the main screen.
I think you might be exaggerating just a little bit.
It's true. It's got pedals. There are only 2 pedals when there are 6 directions.
Right.
But we dragged everyone to there except for Mr. Bones, who was the one who originally asked us to play, and everyone else showed up and he was busy. Get wrecked.
But yeah, we played around to that. Very fun.
It was extremely fun. I slaughtered everybody.
I ran into an issue like halfway through the round where I just got stuck staring at the sky.
Excuses.
It was fun still.
Mr. 5 kills versus my 17.
I had 5 kills within like the first 3 minutes and then stopped doing stuff.
Yep. Whatever you say.
Also, you were being a little bitch and sniping across the entire arena.
I was doing all sorts of stuff. I enjoy that game tremendously. It is like every childhood party I remember going to, like the local big arcade thing, and we would do like rounds of that ad nauseum.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But also, it was one of those where it was like, it was really fun, and I feel like we could have just spent a day.
Dude.
But at the same time,
they had the 20 round pack you could buy, and it was like $100 a person. And if it wasn't for the guilt, because like we were originally going to do 4 rounds, but there was so many people in line that were like, we'll just do 1 round because it's going to be mean to wait 40 minutes for our group to be done.
Yeah, each one was like 10 minutes long, and it's like, oh, I guess we're just going to take the next hour. Nobody else gets to play. And it's like, that seems wrong. It would be great fun, but also, let's not.
But you could buy 20 rounds. I feel like if left to our own devices, you and I could do 20 rounds.
Yeah. It was fun.
Good times. Anyway, we're rambling, just talking about stuff.
Kinda. I mean, that's what this episode more or less was.
Any Miwa story anyone shares is absolutely true. Yes, she is an 8-foot tall white guy. Confirmed. Well-known fact. Also, every single unhinged thing she says on stream is true. She is exactly like that. The woman opened up Hinge in the middle of the reveals.
That was a little weird.
It was fantastic. I loved that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
I loved the entire weekend. We had so much fun with everybody. Again, absolutely fun. Takeaway from this, if you go to any convention, you will have a blast. Take your friends, have a good time. Don't worry about it. You don't have to play at the tournament. You don't have to sign up for classes. You can have fun doing literally anything, just enjoying yourself. And if you ever meet a content creator, don't be afraid to say hi. We all love hearing from people who like watching us. It's unreal on the other end of things, by the way. It does not matter if you feel awkward. Holy shit, you watch the crap we make? That's crazy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, great times. It was so fun. Loved everyone who was involved. Tons of listeners and patrons over the weekend. Had really good discussions with a few of them too. Like, not just, hi, you're awesome, but like sitting down and taking 10 minutes to like have a conversation. Really cool stuff. I don't know. I loved all of it. If we ever go to any big con in the future, I guarantee you on episodes leading up to it in our news segment, we will tell you like, hey, we're going to be here. You should never go just because we are somewhere. But if you are going there, please come say hi to us. It's always great to meet people.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we do a better job in the future, essentially, of making ourselves available. And like, I'm going to try and figure out the whole camera thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through some of the pictures as we were talking about, and it's like, fuck, that is a cool model. It looks like doo-doo in the picture, though. What the fuck is this? But I think that's probably enough rambling, though, man.
Oh, yeah. I think we're good. Eric can go to bed now because it's now quite late at night, and Eric Eric has to be on a plane at 6 a.m., so enjoy that.
I am going to be on a plane in like 7 hours, and I am very excited to go through TSA.
I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping in tomorrow.
You don't have work? What?
No, I don't work the day after. Are you psychotic? I took Monday off.
We just drove. We didn't go to the convention today.
Yeah, I just drove for 6 hours. I don't want to have to go to work tomorrow.
I mean, that's fair, but also...
No. But apart from being thankful to all of our listeners, we are also thankful for our producers who keep this place running. They are Aetherian Cult Leader by Accident,
Ava, Tech Adept,
Breaking News 480 Custodian Guard,
C5 Dynamite,
Certified Peg Star,
Charles Lange,
Corvus,
Demolition Man,
Dolphin Caviar. Also, I notice how bad my voice is because I can't do my voice to do producer names that I normally do. I'm trying it and it's not working.
I feel like mine's starting to go as well. Gilgamesh Versus,
Going to Nick that gets snazzy wagon,
Grant Yost,
Halo Gamer 2005,
Jan Guy C,
Kiwi Fruitbird,
Le Bloop Bloop.
Loaf of Disappointment.
Man, that 11th reveal trailer was, insert adjective here,
I won't. NJ Harlan,
Old World Smasher Pass 1,
Pizza 00100,
Robo Hop,
Sam Brown,
Scott the Jim Crab, Mr. Fastastic.
She's sloppity on my bile till I play.
I forgot about that.
Miwa did buy a sloppity bile piper too. I forgot that story.
Oh,
We'll talk
yeah.
about that a different time.
Sorry, Eric. I forgot to change my name for a while.
The fucking god emperor of mankind.
The Ta'au fire warrior who can't shoot.
Can't shoot.
Yeah.
The terrible Toledo tickler.
Victorian Batman.
War Game Simulator.
And wondered why Patreon thought 50 letters what.
Thank you all so much for supporting the show. And if you would like to join them and great patrons like Rory Cook, you can find us on patreon.com/solely-singleton and keep this place running and keep Borrelio's dogs fed. Also Borrelio, I guess, if you have to. But on that note, we're out of here.
Sounds good.